You're not mistaken, this beautiful woman is indeed a model, but behind her stunning appearance hides a knockout master. Sammy Jo Luxton didn't earn the nickname Ghetto Cinderella for nothing. A photo model and OnlyFans model, she's also a champion in kickboxing, Muay Thai, and has multiple wins in boxing and MMA. So let's take a glimpse into the life of this future UFC superstar. Sammy Jo Luxton was born on April 18th, 1999, into an ordinary English family with below-average means. It's her birthplace that essentially forms the basis of her nickname, Ghetto Cinderella. However, martial arts entered her life unexpectedly.
So I started off when a family friend was doing it, and then she was running the session, and I'm like an adrenaline junkie, so I convinced my parents to let me do it for self-defense. So I had one session, absolutely loved it, and then I fought 6 weeks later and I haven't stopped.
She started when a family friend was doing combat training, and after one session she was hooked. Surprisingly, her first lessons were in Krav Maga, self-defense, and then she ventured into kickboxing. Within just 6 weeks, she had her first match held in a Manchester car park. From her first match, it was evident that her fighting style was based on incredible aggression. Her performance and fighting style didn't go unnoticed, and Sammy quickly won her first championship title. After that, winning and becoming a champion became routine for her. That's how she earned her legendary nickname, which she still performs under to this day. However, that's just part of the interest in her persona. What intrigued all promoters worldwide happened in her Muay Thai career. When she was 16, Sammy decided to head to the Muay Thai World Championships in Thailand and ended up winning the WBC British U18 title later. Years later, she had nearly 70 fights on her resume, but let's take it step by step. You know, unfortunately, due to the number of fights in Muay Thai, not all matches can be found. However, let's go through the main fights in chronological order. One of Sammy Jo's most important fights early in her career was for the title of 51 KOD Junior British Championship in amateur Muay Thai. And in other words, fighters had body protection and head strikes were prohibited. However, despite such rules, Sammy Jo's style was immediately noticeable. She took the center of the ring and went on the attack. She's the one in black and blue shorts. Then mutual work in the Thai clinch began, but Luxton's aggression took over. Such grueling close-range work didn't stop the girls. The fight continued with low kicks. The pace of the fight didn't drop in the second round. Kick exchanges continued throughout the fight. Sometimes the exchanges turned into wrestling. The fight ended under clinch exchanges. By the judges' decision in this spectacular fight, Sammy Jo Luxton won and claimed the 51-kilogram title. Let's go back to 2016, where Sammy had moved up to a weight class that was 3 kilograms heavier. This was now Muay Thai Class B, where there's no body protection and head strikes are allowed. Her opponent was the dark-haired Ann Lin, and the girls started the fight extremely actively. Despite her opponent managing to push Luxton into a corner, she still worked actively from there without any problems. Over the years, the girl improved her defense and clinch work.
Explosively, very passionate talking to from the corner of the Ninja Lean.
She also honed her push kick.
Norwegian, but there was a lot of There was a lot of hand gesturing to come forward and press, pressurized by the looks of it. Luxton, though.
Each round was filled with exchanges, which exhausted the girls by the 5th round. However, even moving backward, Sammy landed kicks all over her opponent's body.
Line from frontline Muay-Thai in the black. Exchange of turning kicks there, Luxton again.
Despite the fatigue, her push kick still worked.
Luxton's doing a great job of just retaliating, keeping the points the same, and again she catches. Final round of this scheduled 5-round ladies international Thai boxing B-class bout.
Despite the change in weight class, Sammy Jo confidently won once again. In the same year, in May, Luxton fought against Misha Emsley. Sammy unexpectedly started too aggressively, not even having time to shake hands with her opponent before launching an attack on her. Before the referee could return the fighters to the ring, the poor opponent's head almost flew off the arena. At one point, Sammy decided to try to cosplay a Spartan kick. The opponent got tired of being a punching bag and went after Luxton. However, she was quickly turned back to the corner, where she unfortunately had to once again play the role of a punching bag. Closer to the middle of the fight, it's evident that the opponent mentally decided to surrender. Despite this, the opponent managed to last until the end of the fight, where of course she lost by the judge's decision, and Sammy won another belt. Despite her active 2016, Sammy will have to sit out the next 2 years, healing injuries, sorting out personal relationships, and much more. One of those moments gave birth to her legendary nickname.
So I was actually in the car with a boy I was seeing. We listened to a song called Ghetto Cinderella, and I absolutely loved that song, so I kept on playing it. And then one day he was like, "You are basically a Ghetto Cinderella."
She thought about it and said, actually, you're right. So it stuck from there. The return of Sammy took place in April 2018 against Casey Phuket. The girl started the fight with a kick exchange. Then came Sammy's classic pressing, forcing her opponent to run from corner to corner. Casey Phuket decided not to constantly press Luxton and went forward in response, leading to her downfall. Sammy rocks her opponent with a high kick, but she survived. The match ends in a spectacular exchange, after which Sammy is declared the winner. Let's move 2 years ahead to 2020, where Sammy Jo Luxton fought against Chanel Dyer at Roar Combat League 14. Luxton initiated the attack first, demonstrating good defense.
See how Chanel's going to deal with the experience of Sammy. Great coach, Steve. Produces good girls as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it helps when you've got a world champion female in your gym.
Chanel worked at a distance and tried to keep Sammy on the edge of her kicks, prompting Gito Cinderella to move forward and start exchanging blows.
Underneath the body kick.
Good body kick.
Really good fight this.
Chanel is one of the few opponents Luxton could actually run away from her pressing.
Checked there by Sammy. You know, Chanel's dealing with the pressure well here. She's got a lot of support here.
Dyer can strike on the back foot. Look, she can go backwards a couple of steps, then strike.
Yeah, she can. She throws the left kick well off the back foot.
Luxton going up to the body, and then every time.
However, even such a skillful opponent did not stop Sammy's pressing.
She really is outscoring on the back foot here, and she's making space for herself well. She looks like she's enjoying it now, Chanel, to be fair.
The longer the fight went on, the harder it was for the opponent to escape, forcing her to fight the way Sammy liked.
Sammy Luxton needs to up her product now, Alex, doesn't she?
She does. She needs to step it up that little bit.
Driving through that low kick and punching.
Nothing is unanswered by anything Sammy throws is answered straight away by Chanel.
Good, doubling up the hands, going
really
down
good
low.
combination. That's what Sammy needs to do.
Such a high tempo charged the opponent with enthusiasm, and now she went forward.
She's driving her hip through those shots really hard to.
Wow, really good footwork by Sammy Luxton.
In the final round, the girls came out charged, knowing that this was a close fight and victory could go to anyone.
As well.
Yeah, you've only got a couple of steps moving forward there. You've got to strike.
The exchanges continued in the clinch.
Luxton
good defense by Luxton.
Yep. Nothing in that.
The match ended in mutual exchanges.
Muay-Thai, I really, really do. And I think it teaches people to become full-time rules and fighters as well. And these two girls can both step up to the mark. And he's calling his girl to give him everything she's got. And he cannot be cross with her because Chanel Dyer has been superb tonight.
Chanel Dyer has been amazing. Sammy Jo Luxton's wore a heart on her sleeve. She hasn't took a backward step for the entire.
Despite the brutality and competitiveness of the fight, Sammy Jo managed to win once again, thanks to her pressing and aggression. 2 years later, Sammy moved to the 57-kilogram weight class against China Faye Bajerski. Sammy immediately used kicks to pressure her opponent to the ropes.
Sammy Jo there, taking the fight straight to her there.
Sammy Jo, last fight out, was won with that.
Luxton decided to focus on her opponent's legs.
Just looking to keep her on the ropes here, and she not taking a step backwards so far, Sammy Jo.
Yeah, she's kind of putting herself back, China, isn't she? She's nothing coming at her, but she's putting herself back from just the intent of Sammy Jo.
Oh, beautiful body kick there. Very much a technical counter-fighting style, quite similar to her stablemate in the last fight. Sammy.
Even in the clinch, Sammy continued to work knees on her opponent's legs.
Nice knees there from Sammy Jo.
Maybe a little bit of lack of confidence from China, Rob. She's backed herself in her own corner, really.
Afterward, attacks shifted from legs to head.
Yeah, from China.
No.
She needs to open up a bit more, put some venom into her shots. Big kicks coming in here from Sammy Jo here. Not enough power, not enough aggression. From corner to corner. Big body kick landing there from Sammy Jo as well. Solid body shot. She's just too strong. Let's go more, put some venom into the shots.
Towards the end, the match turned into brutal exchange. Sammy Jo's combinations were hitting the target perfectly.
I mean, so, you know, this...
Just need to see more substance from her. You know, that's what they need to take away from this fight. You know, she needs to be a bit more aggressive. And not too scared to put the shots in, let the shots go with power.
A little bit tired now, Luxton. Put a lot of work in this fight.
She has. I mean, she's done the work.
In this bout, Sammy Jo Luxton confidently emerged victorious. However, it was noticeable that she did not look as confident in hand exchanges as she did with kicks. So, she spent the next couple of months honing her boxing skills. Later that year, she fought against Terry Hulton. The match started actively, with the opponent deciding to press forward, but encountered multiple push kicks from Sammy.
Sammy needs to be on it.
After the referee separated them, they continued with fierce exchanges, which eventually turned into brutal knees in the clinch.
Good work on that clinch.
Nothing really scored.
The opponent attempted to clinch again, but Luxton skillfully countered and began working in the clinch herself.
Better work by Sammy now.
Clinch work was a significant aspect of this fight, with the girls constantly exchanging knees.
Good. And now she needs the knee there. That's it, a little step back. Even just a little push back of your hips when you know that return knee's coming to make it miss.
Terry's doing a really good job in the clinching.
That's good.
However, in stand-up exchanges, Sammy appeared much sharper and stronger.
If she can just keep...
Despite Luxton's attempts to keep her opponent at a distance and work in the stand-up, she constantly entered the clinch, dominating the fight.
Terry, she's a machine. Very, very strong in the clinch.
She's very strong.
Ultimately, this led to her defeat, with many believing that Terry Hulton's victory was undeserved. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. And this controversial loss helped Sammy to shift her focus away from Muay Thai and consider trying herself in other combat sports. Fortunately, at that time, the legendary Floyd Mayweather was looking for athletes to fill the undercard of his exhibition fight. One of the athletes they called was Sammy Jo Luxton, who, as she said, doesn't refuse such offers. This led to her boxing debut. After all, she had been honing her boxing skills lately. Despite her debut, Sammy demonstrated excellent boxing skills. Her 1-2 constantly hit the target, and her habit dating back to Muay Thai of moving her head during combinations helped her avoid unnecessary damage. It's also worth noting her clinch, where she felt like a fish in water, showcasing her mastery of Thai boxing. This ultimately led to a confident victory in her debut. However, as planned, boxing was just a short stop on the way to her MMA career. Sammy confirmed the quality of her boxing just before her MMA debut. However, I simply won't have time to tell you about the fight, as by the time I speak, it's essentially over. The opponent couldn't withstand even one combination from such a skillful Muay Thai striker. Such a brilliant performance caught the attention of many promoters. Therefore, FCC 37 managed to sign her and gave her a more serious opponent. However, the outcome was exactly the same. The first good combination and the fight ended early in the first round again. If in Muay Thai, opponents were saved by thick gloves, then in MMA, 4-ounce gloves allow for easily delivering knockout damage, securing 2 consecutive victories, totaling 26 seconds, allowed Sammy Jo to sign a contract with the second best league in the world after the UFC, PFL. This league is aggressively acquiring the best prospects, so it's not surprising that they immediately seized Sammy and quickly signed her. Debut in the second best league in the world after the UFC will take place at a tournament in Paris. However, unfortunately, the debut in the PFL had to be postponed. Almost all this time, we watched Sammy win in every aspect of life, from her career in various combat sports to her popularity and model-like appearance. However, suddenly she was diagnosed with cancer, which led to the postponement of her debut. Sammy is first and foremost a fighter, and fighters are defined not by physical skills, but by character. Being a true fighter, she looked at the situation positively and openly informed her fans about the reason reason for canceling her debut in Paris. Now, her health is much better, and her debut fight will take place in June. Do you think Sammy Joe Luxton can become a new superstar in the world of MMA?